ဒီမှာလုံးဝနေလို့မရလို့အနေအများများနေအခုကျွန်တော်တို့ဟိုထိုင်းဘက်ကိုကူတော့မယ်
These are Burmese resistance fighters. They're on the run from the Myanmar military. And tonight, they're smuggling themselves across the border into Thailand.
So,
On the Thai side, a group of Burmese dissidents are waiting for them. So it's about 5 a.m. We're going to meet some smuggled Myanmar fighters. These are militia members that a year ago were protesters fighting against the government with slingshots and makeshift shields. Now they're jungle warriors. In the past few weeks, airstrikes have been pummeling them just across the border in Myanmar. Now they've come here seeking safety and refuge. Oh fuck. What happened?
The guy dropped them somewhere else. Fucking traffickers.
One year after the coup that upended the nation and killed more than 1,500 people according to human rights groups, these young rebels are just a few of the thousands fighting against the powerful Myanmar military. On February 1st, 2021, soldiers seized the parliament and ousted the majority of the government. Massive demonstrations spread across the country. But the military's crackdown was swift and lethal. Now, after a year of growing violence, the military has intensified aerial strikes on the provinces, and the country is slipping into chaos.
There are data showing that November was the highest month with nearly 1,000 attacks.
Dinzar Shunlei Yi, a human rights activist from Yangon, was a formative voice in the early street protests.
There are more than 30 townships that have suffered from the airstrikes across the whole nation. We have never experienced such kind of brutalities from the military, as well as a strong resistance from the people. They try to make sure the whole country submit to them, but we still refuse to allow them to be our rulers.
This defiance has led to the formation of the People's Defense Forces, or PDF, a coalition of thousands of resistance fighters who are carrying out surprise attacks on hunter checkpoints, bombing army convoys, and supporting ethnic armies in their fight against the regime. 12 months ago, these men and women were students and office workers protesting the coup. Today, they're training to overthrow the military.
Being a soldier is a tough choice, but the young people, they are ready to defend the communities. They have to, of course, sacrifice their own daily life, ordinary life.
But with no outside support, these fighters are outmanned and outgunned. Right across the border, Thailand is their sanctuary. We've agreed to hide their identities out of fear of retribution. With only a handful of rifles in their unit, these 12 PDF fighters were forced to retreat to Thailand, fleeing the recent barrage of military attacks. In the safe house, we sat down with Jack, a fighter in his early 20s whose name we've changed to protect his identity. A year ago, he was a regular kid working in a cell phone shop. When the coup happened, how did your life start to change? One morning last June, Jack told his family he was going to work. Instead, he headed north out of the city and joined the PDF. New soldiers like Jack are offered support and training from the Karen National Liberation Army, one of the country's armed ethnic fighting forces who have been at war with the Myanmar military for over 70 years. What was it like to become a soldier living in the jungle? In his mid-30s, Ko-Ong is the eldest member and leader of Jack's unit. A year ago, he was a fruit salesman and musician. He has no military experience, unlike the army he's up against.
The leshi pit pian ni de data type when it had a wedgie through the sea and how the percent chant how the through percent she see then I how the again a G to the PTA the Maquaja through say them through material through looking a load hour. Oh, Piano to not to marry a shway and highway, Kalidio the college, you know, same account today. But on the easy starting a matching, easy a man navy gains on matching. Through mainland, they watch out, Bluma, they watch out Mapao.
With military informants spread all around the cities, going home for these soldiers would mean risking their and their families' lives. For now, they're trapped in the fight.
Oh, maybe I. Hello, that phone, the phone, you look kind, you know, we are got.
Before the coup, Jack hadn't been away from his family for more than a few days. He hasn't seen them now for 9 months. The only place Jack and his friends can go now is another safe house. Soon, they'll head back to Myanmar, to the front line of their war against the military.
ငါတို့နိုင်မှဒီငါတို့နောက်မှရှိတဲ့ငါတို့မိဘပြည်သူတွေအကုန်လုံးလွတ်လပ်စွာဒီပြည်သူတွေကြားထဲမှာခေါင်းမော်ရင်ခေါ်ပြီးသွားလို့ရမှာ
So right now we're standing at the western end of Thailand, just at the border with Myanmar, just past this river here. And what we're seeing is hundreds of people gathered at this makeshift displaced persons camp, gathered with whatever that they could grab from home. And they're making shelters from just like tarps that they found and sticks around the area. And the food has been donated from people here in Thailand, ferried across the river. They've come here fleeing their homes because of the bombings and artillery that's been happening all around this area. This is just one camp. There's dozens across this entire giant border. When the airstrikes worsened in December, thousands of refugees crossed into Thailand, setting up makeshift camps on the safer side of the river.
ကိုကတော့ခေါင်းအေးနဲ့အိပ်ရတာပေါ့ငါတို့ကတော့ဒီဘက်ကန်ရလိုက်ဟဲ့အေးဆွဆွအိပ်လို့ရဆိုပြီးအိပ်တာပေါ့သူတို့ကတော့အေးဆွဆွမအိပ်ရဘူးပေါ့ညခင်းညလို့ချင်းဘုံတန်ကြောက်ရတာနဲ့တနက်တန်ကြောက်ရတာနဲ့တခိုးတန်ကြောက်ရတာအဲ့လိုမျိုးတွေရှိတာပေါ့ကျွန်တော်ဟိုတလောလာတယ်လာတော့ကျွန်တော်လည်းလာတော့အလုံးကြီးကျွန်တော်လက်ပြနှစ်တိုင်လောက်ပဲကြာတယ်ကျွန်တော်ဘင်းတော့ကြာကျွန်တော်ထွက်ပြီးတယ်ဟိုကသူတို့ပြစ်တဲ့ချိန်သူပဲအဲ့လိုပဲသေသွားတယ်ခွာကြီးတယောက်အဲ့တန်ကြိုင်နှလုံးရိပ်ရောအမှန်ပြီးသားပဲထွက်ပြေးတော့မလဲအမှန်အဲ့နေရတော့
သူလက်နဲ့ကြီးနဲ့ထူတော့အိမ်ဒီပါတွေခဏနေလေတမလို့နေရမရှိတော့ဘူးလေဟုတ်အဲ့နဲ့တမလို့ထွက်ပြေးလာပြန်တော့သွားပြီပြန်ရဲသေးဘူးဟုတ်